So my name is Alex Stanhope, I'm a technical architect. As part of a digital team, my role is to represent the technology. Now that's not just the constraints, that's actually looking at all the opportunities that technology throws up for us as well. So when working with a product owner, it's a negotiation. It's one where we're desperately trying to understand the space around us, understand what constraints are going to have an impact on this product, and where technology can be used to maybe relax some of those or create some new space. Sometimes that's going to be involved, and sometimes it's dead simple. But more often than not, we're going backwards and forwards, looking at what things we have to do for a security, audit, or legal from a legal perspective, and then matching that with what it is we want to be doing for our users. As a technical architect, I'm looking to underwrite the risk associated with all the technology used in the solution. We don't know exactly what the product's going to look like, and so this tends to be a void of discovery. A lot of the time, as an architect, I'm trying to understand what it is we're trying to achieve and put in place a solution that's well aligned with our digital blueprint. Often when talking to a product owner, I get a real sense of what it is they're trying to achieve. I think my role as a supporting role to that vision is to try and find a way to bring that vision to life, to make it a reality. Sometimes that happens in a very organic way where the roadmap just sort of unfolds in front of us. It becomes very clear where we're going, and each step just takes us closer to that. More often than not though, it's a bit of a sort of dynamic journey. We're zigging and zagging a little bit, and as we're going along that journey, there's a bunch of things that are changing. My role is to work with those changing constraints and try and find a way to guide our product owner through that journey so that we arrive at a place that they're very happy with in terms of the product we bring to our users. So for me, trust in business relationships is all about transparency. One of the things I'm trying to do is make sure that the product owner I'm working with has a clear view of why I'm introducing different constraints or why I'm proposing a solution work in a certain way. There are many different sides to that, but principally I'm thinking about risk and governance. How can I demonstrate that we best manage the risk associated with perhaps some claimant data or with a new interface that we want to introduce? For the product owner, if they get a sense that I'm somehow hampering their progress or standing in the way of them realising their vision, then that can do the opposite. It can actually destroy that trust. But by making it clear why I'm introducing these concepts, why I'm talking about security, I'm actually being very solution focused to make sure that I'm proposing positive steps that allow us to address those needs. I'm looking for a way to demonstrate why it is I'm making the suggestions I am and what bearing that's going to have on us realising the vision that he's talked about. I think that by bringing transparency to that, being absolutely clear about what I'm thinking and how I think it will land with governance, I can give him an empowered place to make a decision about which direction we're going in. And that transparency over time, I think, is the basis for trust. I think product owners have an incredibly difficult role. I think he or she often has a number of different forces acting on him, and they're looking for a solution that is a heuristic. There's no exact right answer to what is the best fit for a product. There's no simple yes or no answer to what is a minimum viable product. But there is, I think, a balance of different forces. One of the things I try to do in working with a product owner is make sure that they're in a position that they've got all the information and so they can make a reasoned judgment that balances all these different forces. One of the things that makes my job a lot easier is clarity, to know exactly what we're doing, to know exactly what the requirements are, and to be able to work within a set of constraints. Realistically, in agile product development, that's not the way the world works. We're constantly discovering unknowns and resolving different constraints and issues as they arise. I think what I need from a product owner, what I ask of a product owner, is the willingness to enter into that discovery on even footing. Just for us all to understand that there are a set of things that we don't know, and inevitably as we go through it, we're all going to do our best to understand at any given point in time what the right solution looks like, but it'll change. And so as our knowledge about the product and as our user group grows, as our understanding of the context in which we're delivering this product or service grows, we're going to end up changing a solution, which in turn means going back and going through the governance cycle again. That can introduce delays, But I think managing that in a really transparent and positive way allows us to get to a good outcome as quickly as possible. I think as a service evolves, is a different amount of pressure on all parties in the team. In the early stages of a discovery or alpha, often there's a lot more willingness and time to entertain the unknown, to develop an understanding as it comes, and to just keep working towards a solution. But I think quite quickly, as you make the progression through private beta into public beta, and eventually as the service is going live, deadlines become more pressing, and there can be a lot of eyes, a lot of attention on the team. That has a bearing on communication, of course. One of the things I find overwhelmingly in DWP is the professionalism which, of course, everyone approaches these things. But I also know that building a rapport, building trust, building an understanding with my product owner allows us to communicate in a shorthand. So as things become more pressurized, as we're trying to deliver very quickly, we can do that in a really easy way. We can do that in a way where I can understand him or her and be understood. For me, a product owner is perhaps one of the most difficult roles to hold in a digital team. It's certainly the central point, often the pivot around which the direction of the project moves. One of the things that I think I see overwhelmingly in our product owners is a lot of energy and enthusiasm and a lot of patience, which is one of the key things that actually has the biggest bearing on the success of the team. It's a role that doesn't have a technically right answer, but having the right attitude towards being a product owner, I think, is as important, if not perhaps more important. A willingness to recognise the ups and downs in any product cycle, to understand the delays and work constructively to produce better solutions, I think is a great way through that. One of the things that I would encourage all product owners to do is just to keep bringing as much of themselves to the role as they can, because it's about communication, it's about how well the team relates to one another, and actually the teams that I've seen work best and the product owners who I judge have done the best job are the ones who've been best connected to their team.